Let's see. Let's see. I need to go here. All right. Here. I think that's everything. Do a sound check. See what this thing's sounding like. Testing 1, 2. Yeah, that's good. All right. So let's get into it. All right. All right. So another day of the week. This week has been pretty good. Taking my time this week, taking those sniper shots, getting that money and getting out. Um, I almost yesterday I almost overtraded. I was talking to Donnell about it. I was like, man, I'm gonna jump back in this thing. But from my recent trades, I was like, you know what? I got my money because usually my first trade is usually my best trade. Um, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take the profit and run. But yeah, let's talk about some of these stocks, some of the movements that happened yesterday. Looking over here on the scans, the only thing I see above $5 right now that has up 10% is only SOUN, which has a super high float. Not really interested in that one, but that is telling me that it's probably going to be a little bit of a slower day. Nice little rainy, stormy, slow day in the market. And maybe something will pop up after the open. Maybe we'll get some of those poppers above 5, but we'll see. The three stocks that I was watching or just really amazed me yesterday was PIK, MNMD, and LYT. Now, LYT, I saw it going up yesterday. Let's actually look at the chart. Man. So LYT, I saw this thing come out yesterday, had a big move out of the ATR and everything. I was like, wow, that thing's moving big. But it had very low relative volume. Very low relative volume. And the standard deviation wasn't abnormal at all. And so I was like, yeah, I don't know. That doesn't match my criteria. So I did not take a trade on LYT. Um, it did make a move though, and it actually did an ATR high break right here. This little area right here, there. So basically, it came down, broke the ATR, and one thing I didn't like about this one as well is how far it broke above the ATR and still came back and crashed it. I was like, why? Usually ATR, if it gets that far away from the ATR, it stays out there and just stays up. But this one crashed back into the ATR and then came back for another attempt to hold it. And it was like, is it gonna go? Is it gonna go? And then it went. But again, it did not meet my criteria, so I did not take that setup and I did not take that entry. I also saw yesterday Pick absolutely exploded from what 177 gapped all the way up here to $9, and on very slow volume, it just rose all the way up to $28. And on this one, I mean, I just was like, wow. I just was watching it go up, right? It has such a big range. Each one of these candles was like $1 or two as it opened up, and I was like, yeah, that's not gonna meet my criteria either. Good morning, Mike D. So I don't know if you guys traded LYT or PIK yesterday, but they were some crazy movers. Now the other thing is how much they dropped in aftermarket. Like Pick was up here at $28, and before aftermarket even came, it was down to $13. So that is a huge move down. And then aftermarket absolutely destroyed anybody that was holding from the 12 all the way down here to the $2. So one of the things that I look for with these stocks and these abnormalities, the criteria that I look for usually continue upward. So they don't have these big old crashes like this usually on the next day or whatnot. They just kind of hold there because there's so many people that are actually holding the stock based on value rather than just trading the motion. Right here, this just proves, how people really felt. People were like, oh yeah, buy, 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 buy. And once it started dumping and they realized, oh, this thing has no reason for me to hold, everybody just started dumping out of it. Then in aftermarket, I mean, I don't know what caused this, might have just been a bot move. Just one big sale candle, but that hurts people right there. You're holding into the aftermarket. You wake up this morning and look back at it, and you're down. Even if you bought right here at the end of it at $12, you're down what, almost nine, almost $10 per share. So very, very traumatic events happening for people that were not quick. Some of these that don't have a reason and they're just going up, you gotta get in and get out. You gotta be like a machine gun, in and out, in and out, in and out. And that's one of the things that I was talking about on my the document that I had showed you guys, that I was trade research and all of that stuff that I had wrote up. The two different strategies. So the strategies that I'm using as a non high frequency trader, I'm looking for the ATR high break and hold, ATR low break recovery, and I'm looking for, if I'm playing under the ATR, which I haven't done because I haven't had to in a little bit, but if I play under the ATR, I'm looking for bear flags, looking for that relief, and then the continuation down. So taking profit before it gets going down again. For high frequency traders, though, I said, hey, you got to have speed. You need to have speed in every single part of what you're doing. Speed in identification, speed in the actual trade plan, getting the plan together, speed in calculating your stop loss, and speed in taking profit. So just speed, man. Anyway, talking about my trade from yesterday. So yesterday I traded MNMD. It was the only stock that actually met my criteria, and you can see it is still holding its levels. The trade that I took on it was right here. Let me zoom this. Actually, where's my tools? Let's pan this. Okay, so the trade I took on it was a ATR break of the high ATR and a hold. So of course I let the first 30 minutes play out, which was these two candles right here. And I've been getting into the habit of waiting for candles to close before I take an entry. So I saw this one, it came down and tested the ATR. I was like, ooh, that looks good. And it popped all the way back up here off of that 8. And actually, me and Donnell was talking about this in the Discord here. Where is it? Yeah. So we had a full conversation about this. This was yesterday morning. I was just getting to my charts at 8:56, almost 9 o'clock. So I was like, well, the first 30 minutes already done. I didn't see the first 30 minutes play out. Didn't really need to. But then I saw he said something about IMRN that he was trading, and then I was like, these are the ones I see. MND sales 0 LYT. We'll see what happens. And then he said LYT is a reverse split. He said a pump, and he think it's over now. That was earlier in the day before it started ripping. I said I didn't like Zero. I didn't like LYT. None of these were meeting my criteria. So I was like, I'll focus on LYT and sales, and then I went and looked at LYT's catalyst, and I was like, yeah, I don't like that one either. I'm gonna focus on these two, one of these two, sales or MNMD. And sales had the percent gain that I wanted, but it didn't have the abnormality that I wanted. So then I said, okay, I like MNMD for an $8 hold. And if you look over here, this is that ATR that it tested right here is right at the $8. I was like, if it can hold that level, I think it can get going up. So it bounced all the way back up here to 832. And I was like, okay, this next candle, I need to see it test down first and not break this low side. It didn't break the low side, stayed right where it was, and I entered on not this candle. I waited for this candle to close first, and then I entered on this next candle right at the open of this next candle, looking for the move up. And it moved up, and it broke all the way up here, and then it broke through 10, and we continued the conversation on this. I was like, yo, I'm in 300 shares on MNMD, average price 863. And he was like, yeah, I'm watching it. I said my hard stop will be at $8. So I was risking 63 cents there. And then I was moving it up every 25 cents confirmed. So I was looking for not only for it to go up, but it to continue to confirm those levels and show strength above every 25 cents. And I was looking to move my stop up. And then we were up here. I was like looking for 9 to hold. So that was $1 up from, or not really $1 up. $9.63 would have been $1 up. But I was looking good in the trade, $9. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to see if this thing can break 10. And what did this thing end up doing? It went up here, showed a little bit of pullback here to the 925s, and then boom, straight through 10, all the way up here. So I took half off around the $10 level. And then I took and after I took half off, I was just taking little bits and pieces up around 11, because 11 was not my goal. 11 just was just a blessing on top of a blessing, I guess. And so yeah, just traded that out. But anyway, let's go look at my trade journal here. So these are in the last 30 days. I have taken 9 trades. I've rotated about 2,795 shares, and it's looking pretty good. So on this one, I took 300 shares, made $419. The cost of the trade was about $2,591 and something. And so this is what I'm looking at. I want to make sure that I'm getting a good, like right here, it says average percent return is about 6% per trade. And my profit loss ratio on these this last 30 days has been a 10 to 1. So I'm getting a pretty good profit when you look at my losses. So like if you look February 15th, my loss was $70, but look around it. The wins were 700 and 350. Root, this was an over trading. I should not have given back this money, but lost $70 there, lost $11 there. But then on the next winning trade, 475. Saidu, got stopped out on Saidu. I wanted to be in that one, but got stopped out. Whatever. Lost $21, but look at the next win, 392, and then look at the next win, 419. So just trying to keep those winners way bigger than the losers, and it's showing in my profit loss ratio. But that's 9 trades in the last 30 days. And this is how I'm kind of keeping up with everything. I'm putting my mistakes, the things that I shouldn't have done if there's no setup or anything, putting those over here. And if I go out to my calendar, it actually shows me what setup that I was taking on that day, and if there were any mistakes that I saw myself make on those particular days, whether it's weak catalyst or whatever it is, just being like, look, let me avoid stupid things, let me just stay out of there. As far as my mistakes, and this is the trade journal platform that I use, TraderSync. It's a link for it in the description, but this is how I keep up with everything and kind of take all the statistics into consideration for these days and weeks and stuff. So if I go to setups, my most profitable setup in the last couple of days has been the ATR high break and the ATR high break and hold. Those two have been the ones. So it's just been giving me a lot of resolution behind them, and I like them. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. And I mean, think about it. The 2 things that I had said in the trade research that I was trying to make sure that I get in my strategy is, first, as a non high frequency trader, I need to have a repeatable strategy, something that I can look at every single day and it looks the same, it moves the same. Even though it's a different ticker, the life flow in that ticker looks the same. The pre-market looks the same. Everything just looks the same. So that's what I'm really focusing on. And then after you get a repeatable strategy as a non-high frequency trader, you then go for scalable. So right now I'm taking 300 shares pretty much per trade or whatnot. Now, if you look at the return per share right here on my winners, DBGI, I got $2.43 on the winner. Root, I got $1.17. JNX, $2.83. APGE, $3.93 per share. MNMD was $1.40. Okay, so I'm well away from getting like 50 cents per share and 20 cents per share and 10 cents per share. I'm getting those bigger movements that I want in the stocks that I'm finding. So that's what I'm really focused on. So I don't have to buy a whole lot of shares, and I can keep my risk relatively small, because if I take a $300 300 shares, I'm like, well, if it falls $1, it's just $300, right? It's not that much, right? If you look at my winners, $300, I'm cool. But if I'm taking 2,000 shares and I start to scale this up on the same winning output, I mean, that's some pretty good money. You know what I'm saying? It's $3 per share, $2 per share on the bigger sizes is pretty nice. So that's what I'm working my way into, and I just getting data right now, gathering to get the data. But yeah, that's enough for my trades for this month. Um, let's see. Good morning, Lori Lee. Good morning, Boss Lynch. Yeah, Boss Lynch. MNMD did an offering, and so I was like, I'm not in it. It did it towards the end of yesterday, and I was like, whatever. It met the criteria. People were trading. It was going up, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and take this. And the other thing that kept me from over trading it yesterday was I was going to take my second trade here. So I saw this thing come down, come down, come down, and I was looking at this doji candle here. So after this big move down into this huge, I guess this would be called a shooting star candle. Well, I say I guess. No, it's actually called a shooting star candle. And then it came down and I saw this indecisive candle right here. This one right here. And I was like, okay, this right here is telling me it's about to go bullish right there. So I was like, okay, if it's telling me it's about to go bullish, I need to wait to see the first green candle. And it came down, and it actually went down on this candle right here. And I was looking for the first green candle to not only go green, but close green. And that's what this one did right here. The only issue is I trade from 9 to 11, and I like to stick within that trading time because I'm trying to go to lunch, right? So this one went green and closed, and on this next candle it's 11 o'clock. And I was like, do I really want to break my rules, take this entry and get this? Because what I do is I don't size up during the day. A lot of people, they're like, oh, I'm gonna get more aggressive during the day. Like they'll start off with 200 shares and then get more aggressive and go to 1,000 shares. I take my biggest trade. My first trade is usually my best trade. So I take the biggest size there, and then on the next trade, I take half of whatever the first size was. So I was going to take 150 on this little dip right here, which was 875, and I was looking. I had already put my level up there of my take profit, which was the 949 or 950. Right, I would have got it, but I would have broke my rules and went outside of my time frame. Did I leave money on the table? Yeah. If I took 100 shares on this candle right here around 875, I would have been up to 9. So I left about $100 because of that. But I was like, it's whatever. I'll just look for the next trade that is in my time frame, that is, acting like I needed to act. But yeah, just practicing discipline, even on the little things. Even though I saw this candle come down, I was like, okay, it's about to go bullish. And the crazy thing is, most people don't know the candle pattern, so they would be like, wait a minute, there was a bullish signal. Where was it? Well, it was right here. It was telling you, hey, there's some indecision in here. Even though it made this move down, there's some resolution that needs to be made back up here at this indecision. And so that's what happened there. It got right back up to this level. So that's why it's so important to know the patterns, know the dojis, know what's happening, why they happen, especially in an extended move down or up. But anyway, that's that. As far as this morning, let's see if we see anything over 10%, over $5. Not really. The biggest mover right now is SOUN, so not really seeing a whole lot. There may be some things under $5 that will populate after the open for me. But yeah, everything has been going very well since I stopped trading under $5. I just I just have saved so much money and reversed my equity curve massively. Just stopping. My last loss on something under $5 was in January, and that loss was the biggest loss of the year. And I've just recouped that loss. So I'm like, man, it just shouldn't have been. I bought something at $4 and it just kept going down. Kept going down. I was like, never again. It just, I guess it was just the last straw because I had some things going and I was like, okay, I got enough data here to just cancel this out. So, I want dollar moves, $2 moves, $3 moves, $5 moves, $10 moves. Give me those. I'm trying to get paid. And I'm too greedy to accept 10 cents. But anyway, we're here. Let's go and let's go look at the SPY first of all. Let's see what those SPY is doing over here. So the SPY had a nice pop up. Nice pop up here. $5 516 and it's coming down a little bit. Grinded up from 508 all the way up here to the 515s. And end of the week we'll see. This thing is just so bullish, man. Let's go to the larger time frames. This thing stays bullish. Okay, SPY. I mean, the last time I looked at this thing, I was like, oh, this thing looks like it's going to do a breakout. And then now looking back, it definitely was a breakout. But that's the thing. You have to spot these moves before they happen. Have to spot the indicators before they happen. If you were looking at this just on a candle basis, you will see that there's a hangman here, which indicates that it's going to be a bearish move. Came down into what's called a spinning top right here at the bottom of this move. And the next candle was enclosed within the range of this spinning top. So there's going to be a reversal. Even if it kept moving down, this is a signaler of a reversal usually, if it's going to follow patterns. Sometimes we see stocks that don't follow patterns, and I don't like trading those stocks. I try to get the stocks that are following patterns because if I use the patterns, I have more likelihood of winning, right? Okay. But yeah, the patterns definitely matter, man. They definitely matter. Anyway, let me see. Bosslin says sizing and discipline has been my issue as well. I've been too far greedy, and I've been lucky to break even. Man, you know what? I don't think greed is a problem. I think that you have to adjust your strategy to get those plays that feed your need. So I would say be greedy, but get more discipline in the way that you want to take as much profit from the move as you possibly can. I I look, I'm good. I know I'm greedy. I know for a fact if there's a cookie jar open, I'm taking all the cookies. I'm trying to get every cookie out the jar. But knowing that I need to shape a strategy based on that. Something where I can be comfortable in the position. I'm not jittery. I'm not like, oh man, if this goes down, it's gonna take my livelihood. You know, and that's why I ended up sizing down to 300 shares because I'm like, it's 300 bucks. I can make 300 bucks on any of these trades. So I can size down, I can take lower share size, but get more of the move, right? I say stay greedy, bro. Stay greedy. Just adjust based on your statistics. Go back through and see the reasons why something did not feed your greed, why it did not move the way that you wanted to do. Whether it's a pattern that you didn't see, or whether it's uh, something that was in the catalyst, or whatever. Feed your greed. That's why, some of this stuff they always tell you don't get emotional. No, if you're emotional, build a strategy that suits your emotional ability. You know, if you got a lot of fear, have tight stops. Make a strategy that has a lot of tight stops. If you get stopped out, be like, oh well. If you get happy in the trade, or you're listening to music, you're drinking coffee, and you're hyped up, make a strategy that keeps you from killing yourself being hyped up. I don't think anything is just super bad. You have to shape your movement in the market to who you are, what you are. And another thing I got rid of is that cursed level two. I do not use that level two. I don't see a point. I see all the numbers moving. It's just a distraction. I'm just like, eh. Like, no, I'm too greedy to look at the level two. They're like, it's a big seller right there. No, he's not. He's gonna get pushed right out the way. There's a big buyer. No, it's not. He's gonna get sold through. That size means nothing. The size means nothing when the pattern is set up. He can put 10K there. He can put 100K there and get his back broken because the pattern is telling us it's about to go up. And if the majority of the people see that the pattern's going up, he's he's just gonna hand out shoes to everybody. Everybody gonna have Jordans. Boston says I've been doing a lot better since I've been watching your strategy. I at least do more research further back to at least see if an offering will pop up, because that's what's been killing me. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And I don't know what your average hold time is. My average hold time, some of them are like around an hour, some of them are like 30 minutes. But I just news coming out isn't my biggest fear because I have the stop loss in there usually, and I believe in hard stop losses as well. So for the most part, I'm looking for the ATR. Oops, I'm looking for the ATR to end up holding up here, and I usually use that ATR low as my out. If I get in above the ATR low, I'm using it as my out. If it comes down there, I'm out. It's below the ATR, it's going bearish. Everything below there is going to be bearish. So if an offering does come out and it pops down, it'll just stop me out there, and I'm like, cool, whatever. Now, some ATRs are kind of wide, right? And so you may want to work it up. And that's why I put these mid ATRs in here, which is a halfway point from the open to the actual ATR. So on this one, the ATR was $4.57. Okay, so halfway of that 457, you say 457 divided by two, that's this pink line, right? And I would move my stop from the low here to of the low up to this pink line. So I'm reducing my risk. And if it captures the next green line or the midway to the high, okay, cool. That'll be my next stop. If it blows past that, I'll put it at the ATR high. If it blows past that, then I start watching the control level. This big red level here, I want to see the control level continue to move up, and I'll use that as my stop above this level. So that's how I kind of play it. I don't know if you have your volume profile set up, but I try to continually reduce risk. Every time I see a consolidation and then a move higher, I move my stop up some, move my stop up. So almost immediately once I get in, I'm looking to get a hard stop at or around break even. So let's say if I want to risk 20 cents, or like in the case of MNMD, I was risking the ATR here. So this ATR was back at $8 when it was up here at 8.63 when I entered. So I was risking 63 cents, and immediately I was looking to move with the control point. Now the control point was not up here at the beginning. It was like moving towards it, and I was just moving it up with the control point. But you can see at the end, the control point was all the way up here at 9.18. Now I took profit over, pretty much all my profit was over $10. And so I was only holding like 25 shares up at this point right here. and that 25 shares was still well in the green, but it started pulling back, and it eventually came. I took profit, and I had moved it up to $10 because I knew $10 is kind of like a heavy psychological resistance. I was like, okay, if it drops down there, I'm just gonna take the rest at 10 and be out. So that's I just kind of move like that. Reliable Rudy says APRA strong. Not APRA, OPRA strong opera operation opera. Let's see what that reliable is now. He's probably swinging OPRA and not actually day trading it. He's probably been in it for a minute. So whenever you see those call outs, you need to understand how he's playing it as a swing and not some kind of day trade. So when you see this, it looks kind of dead today, but if we look back, this thing has been on a nice little uptrend. Let's jump over to the higher time frame. This thing was at $3, went up to 28, found some type of support or consolidation area here, and has gapped up and looking like it wants to get over the 1455. Well, it might be over that. Yeah, it is. It gapped up. It's at 1529 now. So just moving on up slowly. And he's just probably, I don't know what his profit targets are. Because with swings, they're a little bit different. You just got to be patient to place your profit targets properly and not get out too early. But we have 50 seconds until the open. And as of now, maybe there's something under 5 that'll populate here at the open that I'll see. But as of now, I don't see anything above $5 worth trading as a day trade. Boss Lynch says PBM has been looking good for a few days. PBM. $2.46. Let me see. What's the volume on today? PBM. It's up 92%. So like I said, this one will populate after the open for me. I wouldn't see this immediately. So it's about to pop on my scans here. The market just opened, yeah. So it should be popping. It'll populate here in a little bit. But yeah, jumping back over here, PBM up 92%. And like I said, these are my ATRs that have been placed now. And I just could not figure out how to code my the daily ATR across the board. So it actually changes my ATR from the 15-minute to the 4-hour to the hour and to the daily. So they're different ATRs, but it actually helps me because it helps me get in earlier. So instead of looking at this ATR as a permanent, I look at this as the top of the zone. So this is a 15-minute zone at the two. Actually, where's my, I want to draw something. Price level. Did it get rid of my, must have got rid of it. Anyway, 277 is on the 15-minute. If we jump over to higher time frames, we can see that it's a little bit higher, or actually it's right on it because this is a lower price. That's why. If it was a bigger price, it wouldn't be matching up exactly, but it's about the same between these. If it was a higher price stock, it wouldn't have been matching up. But anyway, getting up there to that mid and going towards the ATR low. And remember, under the ATR low, it's definitely bearish moves from there. So if you're gonna play, you need to know some kind of you need to know bear patterns so you can capitalize on bullish moves on the bearish momentum. Mine, the one that I like the most and I can see the best, is the bear flag. So it's coming down, it crushes a lot of people, then it gets this relief bounce, and not only a relief bounce, but it gets a continuation up, and then it crashes. And you want to take your profit before they crash. So, but yeah, it is up there right now. It looks like, let's see if anybody else sees anything. Reliable called out IPA could give a movement around the 200-day, maybe pre-market high. Let's go look at IPA. PMB is coming up though. It's kind of has an indecision. Okay, there it is. So now my I just populated here. I see AIMD up 150%, PMB up 110, SGD up 100%. So this is how it works. I don't see these during pre-market, but I want to know where the attention is if it's not in the area that I'm focused in, right? So yeah, let me put those on the list here. AIMD, PMB, SGD, and we'll look through these. And then for this one, IoT is up 13%. We'll see what that one's talking about as well. But let's go and dive into some research. And this is what I do in the first 30 minutes. It's just research. And then I'm like, okay, I make my decision. This is what I'm going to attack, if I'm going to attack anything. Okay, so AIMD, let's start there. Am I tripping? This thing not coming through? AIMD, is this thing not something, or did I put this in wrong? AIMD. It's not coming up there. Okay, let's check Yahoo then. AIMD. Anos, breaking news. Nobody cares. Let's see. News on Anos. Crazy thing is it's not on NASDAQ though, which is interesting. News for today. I see they have okay, they were not able to load the stories, press releases. This was their last news was 29 days ago. So I really don't know why they're up. Let's see if there's any news on TOS for them. Nope. So their last news was a month ago. They're just kind of going up for some reason. Let's look at PBM. And I should have checked the let me check the float before I go away from this, because that may be the main reason people are over on it. So the float here is yep, 1 million in the float. Some people only look at the float. They're like, ooh, low float. Let's go. Yeah. All right, PBM, press releases, no data. Is that right? It's a lot of no data type deals out here, huh? That's crazy. But they got a lot of news articles circulating though. I don't like that. That's a good sign. It's a pump and dump. Let's go to SGD. Safe and Green Development. Press releases. All right, 35 minutes ago, Safe and Green Development Corp secures financing for Norman Berry expansion in Atlanta, Georgia. Previous news on February 22nd, Safe and Green to roll out Zine platform. I don't know what that is. And then they have a real estate AI software. So a little bit of AI news with SGD as well. Okay. And then let me go see what's going on with IoT, man. I saw IoT moving. That's looking a little bit dangerous there. IoT 17 hours ago elevates data security and privacy. I hate these, man. They just pop up with the IT stuff and they don't go anywhere. They just go sideways. Okay. And oh, IoT is a higher float too. I didn't look at that. The shares outstanding. Let's go look at that float. I bet that float's ridiculous. Let's see. IoT float of 177 million. Oh, that is way out of range. So I'm gonna delete that one immediately. All right. So yeah, let's just see what happens with these three that we spotted: PMB, AIM, and SGD. Let me go back to the chart. We'll go back to PBM. Now, the first 30 minutes, this one is broke out of this ATR high. Can it hold that 284 is the question. So broke out of that, and yeah, across the board it's above 280s on the ATR high. AIMD dying to the bottom, going towards the ATR low, and then SGD past the ATR low, and just going down into some bearish movements. Only up 88%, so it's really not challenging these other ones that much. These other ones are well above 100%. So SGD plus is under $2 and fading towards $1. Just not looking too good there. So we'll focus on PBM and AIMD. And let me see what time this thing is going to unhalt as well. Halts. So PBM halted at the 36.52. So that'll be what, 41.52? 5 minutes, 41.52. Okay. And this one's just killing the game towards this ATR low as well. The thing I hate about the cheaper stocks is when people forget about them, it's almost instantaneous. Like their volume just shrinks. It just dries up because there's no one to push it around. You know, and everybody's probably gonna be waiting for PMB. I can hear the people saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy the dip out of this halt. It's gonna dip down. I'm gonna buy this dip, and I'm gonna try to get some profit off of this." That's what they're saying right now. So this is where people are looking right now, even though it's halted. It's got 39 million shares traded on it. So why is my volume today not calculating? I don't know why my volume today is not calculating. I am going to go and change that code. Then volume label, get that out of here. Let's do that. Okay. Oh, I want this to be there. Okay. All right. Okay, now, oh, I wanted it to be in this one. What is it doing? Edit studies. I want to be in this one. Okay, so that's the current volume for this particular candle. So for this 15-minute candle, 14 million shares were traded on this one candle. I should have put current volume. Hold up. Let me put current volume on this one. Wrong one. Volume label, current volume. I put current candle vol so people will know if they just tune in. It's current candle. I guess I put the whole thing in there. Okay, current candle volume, 14 million, blah, blah, blah. So we'll see what the open is here in like a minute or two. AIMD, it'll be out there for that as well. Current candle, 6 million shares on this starter candle. And actually, I think I'm doubling up because it's showing it here as well. Do I want to be showing this twice? It's showing it right here on this little red. I don't want this to be on there twice. And it's taking up a lot of my room. It's intersecting my other candle there. So I'm gonna take that off. Woo, almost deleted everything again. Okay, take this off. We can just look right here for the current candle right there. 6,300,000 and something. I don't want to double up. But I will change this over here. Edit and volume and change this back to just volume. Yeah, kind of irritated me sitting up there like that. Anyway, AIMD pulling back up a little bit. PMB did unhalt. The value level and the control level is right here at the point of control is at the 259 right now. Will it be able to pull this point of control up, or will the volume not pull it up? We'll see. ATR still down here at the 277 across here. SGD went into a halt back up to the upside. It pulled all the way back into this ATR low. So at this point, if this was a higher price stock, I'll be looking to use this ATR low as a out and see if it can start to trade above this ATR low. But with it being such a low price range, it could go back down. But I mean, it's halted up. So looks like there's some buying pressure there, but it's a cheaper stock. A lot of people could have bought. Same thing happening with AIMD. Got a wick down there towards the ATR low, but pulling back up into these ranges. PBM pulling back down towards that 285 ATR high. Ooh, it's almost coming. It almost cracked down the ATR right there. It's got to be careful. Let me read some of these chats. Framework, what's up? Framework, Fortune in the house. Reliable called out SLCA as a solid look, testing the flat top. SLCA. SLCA. Is this the right stock? Yeah, this is the right stock. This needs more volume. The people are not there. Maybe it'll push, but that's a gamble. Or that may be a swing for you. I don't know. Maybe a swing for you. But let's see. Next one, Osea has an interesting look. Osea popping up here towards, or it broke over, and this. So based on this pre-market, based on my statistic in this pre-market, this would not be something that I would trade because of these. It's kind of like a dead pre-market. I like to see things with a live pre-market to get people involved, to get people entrapped. Because the market is kind of like the ocean. If you sit there and watch it, it draws you. Or it's kind of like a fire. It draws you like a moth to the flame. It just draws you in there. And the closer you get, the greater chance you have of getting burned. But you have to get out of there before you get burned. You can get drawn, but don't get drawn all the way into the flame or all the way out there to drown. All right, SGD halted again, right up under the ATR high there. ATR high is the 167. Let's see. Reliable called out BNGO could be an early entry play as well. So let me look at BNGO while this one's trying to figure out what it's gonna do. BNGO. Okay, BNGO has a pretty good move out there. Move from the $1.17 up here to the $1.26. Okay. So, and it's been getting beat down on the daily chart. Lordy, it's been getting stomped out. Let's go look at the float on this. This float better not be crazy. BNGO. BNGO float absolutely has a higher float. Most folks, for things that are going to move quickly, they look for under 20 million, and under 30 million, but under 20 million is really that danger zone where it really gets active. 54 million, I don't know how many people will be looking at it, especially with these movers on the day, AIMD and PBM and all this stuff. Moving AIMD, like I said, it was pulling off of that ATR low there. And you can use that ATR low, that 250 level. It's crazy how that almost lines up. 250 is almost lining up with the ATR low. So you would be like, if it breaks down, that's a 20-cent risk. But the reward is maybe it captures these top ATRs, right? The $3 and the 325, or going towards the 325 up there. So look back at PBM as well. It did open the next candle above the ATR, but like I had to do yesterday, I had to wait for this candle to close to make sure it doesn't dump. This thing has too much time to lie to us. The closer you get to the close of the candle, the closer you get to the truth, what it actually wants to do. So it's got about 12, 11 minutes, something like that, till that candle closes. This one is pushing up. AIMD pushing back into this control level up here. Point of control now is at the $3, and it just moved up a little bit too. So there is some people willing to get active on this one. We're seeing a lot of halts. Maybe this one will halt as well. This one's still halted on SGD. Let me go look and when SGD is going to be opening up. SGD halted at the 44.53, so it should be opening up 49.53, which is like less than a minute. We'll see what it wants to do through this high of the ATR high break, if it's going to break that high. It hasn't done it yet. Wow, AIMD turned around bad. Got up to that mid level, that control level. It's crazy how these things overlap too. This is the halfway point to the ATR high, and also this is where the point of control was. So people saw that and they were like, "Man, let's get in here and look at this dump all the way back down to the ATR low." That's wild. That's not good. All right. A couple more seconds on this one. Waiting for this one to open up on SGD, about to open up. I forgot the exact time. Let's see. SGD 50. Okay. On the 53. So it's got about 40 seconds left here. 20 seconds, just about. $1.67 right now, or $1.57. The high is at $1.67. It just opened well above the ATR there. Will it give a dip and hold this ATR though? ATR is currently at the 167, gave the dip. Small pops up to that high that we saw, which was the 160 whatever. And will it, okay, it got to tap off the ATR. It has to hold up that never mind. It needed to hold up that ATR. And this, see, when they have a bigger ATR, they can get out of the ATR more. They can get away from it. It needs to be away from it to really go bullish. There it is. Wow, that was a long little hold. It looked like it was a false halt down there. It looked like it went into a halt downwards. Came right back up above the ATR. So anything above the ATR, no matter what the price range is pretty bullish. So ATR right now is at the 162. As long as it can hold above 162, I would say this is bullish. PBM has not closed that level, and it needs to hold above the 285. AIM still looking like trash down here. Not really competing on the day anymore. So it's between PBM and SGD. Or SGD. Has to hold it up though. Has to close this candle above 160. Can it do it? This is kind of a fresh stock too. If we look over here on the higher time frame or this monthly chart, it's only been traded for not even a year yet. So fresh stock as well. And this, I'm gonna get rid of these levels up here. They're confusing me. I just want to know where the ATR is and can it hold it. It is looking like it's getting up there, but still has time on this candle. Still has 8 minutes to fool everybody. So we'll see how it closes. Very big pops up there. We need to wait. Did it just halt? It just halted again. So not even getting to the close. What? False halt again. So if false halted down, false halted up. Which way is it going to choose to go? Is the question. Went up just a little bit more. I just don't understand why there isn't more volume up here. Like all the volume is still beneath it. So somebody's getting looking like they're getting into position. All the volume's beneath it. So we'll see how this plays out. Nothing. I don't see any. If there was volume above it, you would see this blue growing out up here. You would see shares being placed on the books. Okay, it's moving up a little bit. Move just an inch, but not really aggressively. We'll see. Is it going to continue to push? Okay. Where is the volume? Bring the volume, bro. Okay, into a halt there. Unless it's another false halt. So this candle isn't even going to get to close. All right. PBM has not made its next move yet. AIM. I think AIM is out of the game for real. But these are the three stocks below 5 that are moving. And this is what keeps me when I say, hey, I'm not taking a trade today, I don't see anything above 5 moving. Like literally the scanner is blank up here. Nothing here. Everything's below 5, so I just get my popcorn and watch it play out. So that's kind of, I mean, I do not want to go outside of my criteria because I don't want to I don't want to lose on something that I shouldn't have been trading anyway with the strategy that I have. Because that's really going to make me mad. It's like, man, I did all this research, all this work, and I just let it blow to the wind because I felt what? I felt like this would be the outlier outside of my statistics that was going to work. Nah. PB pulling back a little bit more towards this ATR 285. It's got to hold it. It's got about 5 minutes left on this candle to close. SGD still halted. Yeah. So yeah, kind of dry. Kind of dry moves today. All right, the control area has moved up to 292, so it is above the ATR. So we definitely don't want to see this thing crash. If it crashes below the point of control and the ATR, that's some super bearish movement. So we'll see. $320, $319. Let me read some of these chats here. So we looked at OCA, we looked at Bingo. Reliable also called out ENPH. Okay, so there's 5 minutes left. ENPH is doing some things here in the first 30 minutes. Did an ATR test and it is holding over the ATR. It is holding over the ATR there. Oh, it's 133 bucks. I didn't even see the price. I was like, wait a minute. Why is this thing? Yes, it is moving up. I guess you could take a couple shares. It is moving up. It moved. This is a $2 move out here. So what? 134 is the high, and then back to the ATR is 132. So that's a $2 move. But man, what's the float on this thing? Let's see. ENPH. Float is looking like 129.96 million. Now this is, yeah, that's not a day trade at all. That's not a day trade. All right, let's jump back over. Did SGD unhalt? What time is it? It's a 10-minute halt or something. Trade halt. SGD halted at 9:53:16. 5 minutes, 9:58:16. It should be opening up in just a couple of Couple of seconds. Boss Lynch said his stop loss is at the 290 for, I guess you're talking about PBM. Or yeah, you got to be talking about PBM. Yep, yep, yep. So once they get above these ATRs, man, they just kind of stay bullish because it gets harder and harder for shorts to push them back down to this ATR low, which is all the way down here to $2. These are multiple levels of, and this is the thing. This is why I don't really use Fibonacci's or all these other calculations. I want to use the things that are easy math because most professional traders are using easy math. They're not using these hard, all this, oh yeah, let's use a double underscore, witch's broom, whatever. No, most of them are using easy math and they're using the patterns. You know, the patterns aren't as easy to spot because you got to wait for the candles to close. But, you know, why complicate it? Anyway, I think you got a lot of protection. If your stop is at the 285 there, I think you got a lot of protection here on this trade on PBM. We'll see how this candle closes. If it closes up here towards the high, it could definitely keep going. And also what we want to see is the value level move. So right now the current value level is the top side was 341 and the bottom side was 237. We want to see this move up on the next candle. Move upward. There's a look at the point of control just moved to the moved up above the ATR and right under this level. So now you definitely got protection. You can actually move with the point of control above this level, which is how I play it on the higher time frames. I just keep on moving the point of control up as they keep trading it. So point of control now at 292. And it is the best looking one as of now. SGD is into a 10-minute halt, still halted. So, and I'm gonna go ahead and take AIMD off. I'm just sick of looking at it. It just makes me sick to even. Ugh, it doesn't even look good. So we'll focus on SGD and PBM. See, look at this. Look at this, man. This is beautiful. Look at all this protection you got back down here to the ATR. Easy math. Look at there's the volume coming in right there. You see that blue moving? Look at there. People are trading up here. It's going up. Look at this. Look at this volume coming in here. Go ahead and go up. Let's see. What's the high of this? 382. Let's see you break over 75. It needs to get 375, and I think it's going to continue up. Let's see it. Come on, push it. Get into the 70s and go ahead and break that 75. Get excited. Look at that volume coming in. Come on, 375. Let's get it. Stop playing. 360s. You know you want it. 360s. Ooh, it got close. And then look over here on the buy sell indicator. 100% buyers. Look at this thing. It's definitely gonna get into the 70s. Let's go. Let's go, baby. All you need is a 71 to pop up here, and everybody's gonna jump on it. Break a 70. This is why I got rid of the level 2, because the level 2 doesn't matter. You see 100,000 share position there, so let the candle close. Candle ain't even closed yet. You looking at the level 2 talking about there's a big seller. You don't know that. There's a big seller here. And then you sell and it goes up. So we wait for candles to close, especially if you got all this protection back down here to the control level. You got a bunch of protection here. Even if it shows red, I mean, you still, it's really, really bullish. Oh, it just moved up the whole level. Look, control level jumped all the way up here. So I will wait for consolidation up here, see if it makes another move and use this next control level as an out. This control level jumped up to 352 up here. That's insane. Let's see if it goes up. Can it get to 370s? Yep. People saw their control level and the value level moved up to the top. Everything's moving up with it. Let's see if it can get up there. 370. Could everything move down right there? Okay, okay. So it moved back to where it was basically. So it's gonna need a little bit of consolidation. But I wouldn't be just trying to sell right now. It's still bullish. 350 hold is what you're looking for. This candle, I didn't even know I went past my time. I got to get to my meeting. Okay, whatever. But yeah, this is kind of how I play the higher time frames, but they're a little bit more consistent because they move. They get going. They if they're $8, $9, $10, they get going upwards. But as of now, your protection is the ATR and the point of control. Point of control just moved back upward. What are you doing? Okay, yeah, they're getting in for the meeting now. All right, y'all. Well, I definitely didn't see anything that I wanted to trade today. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm about to get to this morning meeting and see what's up on Friday. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, if you're going to continue trading, definitely be careful. Keep your head on a swivel, and try not to end the weekend on a bad note. You know what I'm saying? Just go into the weekend smooth selling. That's what Fridays are for. You're taking profit. You're easing out of the week basically. But yeah, that is it for me today. Also, I forgot to put up the disclaimer. Disclaimer basically just goes through. It says, look, copy trading. If look, I'm not liable for this. I'm just telling you what I think about these stocks and all of that. But yeah, that is it for me today. Um, and as always, I will be back on Monday morning unless it's some kind of holiday that I don't know about. Um, and yeah, see you guys then. Have a great weekend. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.